Hey folks, today is Friday, January 16th, 2021. I'm Jake Baldino, here to talk about the video game news. Every week, we're always here. Let's get you caught up on everything that's been going on. There's quite a bit this week, and the first thing is from CES 2021, which has been going on differently, but still, we got a big presentation from Sony showing off all of their Sony things, like their big expensive TVs and whatnot, but we did get kind of a glimpse of Sony's upcoming PS5 lineup. It kind of, some people have been saying leaked. Technically, it was more like a blink and you miss it type thing from their presentation, but we have some new windows. So we now know Pragmata, however your accent is now 2023. This was originally slated for 2022. We also know Ghostwire Tokyo is now October 2021. Project Athea, that Square Enix action-adventure RPG thing, is now January 2022. This has been confirmed by some other journalists. Solar Ash is June 2021. Kena, that cool artsy game, is March 2021. Stray is October 2021. And Little Devil Inside is July 2021. Also worth pointing out that this was taken down and re-uploaded without that, so that's why some people are considering it a leak. It could be wrong information. It could have been correct information that they didn't want out, so take it with a grain of salt at least. So now at least we have a rougher idea of when certain specific things are sort of coming for PlayStation 5. I've seen a lot of people run with this and kind of use these to kind of fill in the blanks to maybe figure out when exactly Horizon Forbidden West is coming or when the next God of War is coming. I think that's a little trickier, but at least now we have this new info. If you did get your hands on a PlayStation 5, you have some things to look forward to, and it's starting to become real. Here's the question. When are they going to announce Metal Gear Solid 4 on PlayStation 5 and I can play it not through PlayStation Now? Isn't that ridiculous? What? In other news, in case you missed it, CD Projekt Red posted a video essentially apologizing for the state of certain versions of Cyberpunk 2077. I think we've talked that topic to death. Whether you think their apology is and them kind of owning up to it is good enough or not, I'll leave that up to you to decide. But they also kind of released a vague roadmap. I say vague because it's very broad, it's not super specific, and it seems like the actual next-gen update versions of the game aren't coming for quite some time. Thankfully, I just am happy that they are fixing stuff. Like, they got our money, the least you can do is start fixing it, am I right? And if you want to check that out, of course, everything I talk about today it's all going to be linked in the description down below. Now, in other news, a surprise bombshell this week. We're getting another Star Wars game, but this time it's from Ubisoft. Yes, we've gotten the announcement that Ubisoft Massive is working on a Star Wars game with some job listings and stuff, hinting towards some sort of open world, action RPG type of thing. That's early, though, of course. This seems like this is early. I would expect this not for quite some time, but it is Massive. Ubisoft Massive are the people behind the Division games, so even if you don't like those games as a service games, I will say that they build incredible worlds. I think the most incredible recreation of New York and Washington, D.C. ever made in video games is by them, so I'm excited to see what they could do with a Star Wars world, and also, it's worth noting that this is seemingly now not just EA making Star Wars games. This is far off. I think the way this is going down is that EA still has the exclusivity deal, but Star Wars is choosing not to renew it, so they're setting things up further down the pipeline. EA said that they are still making Star Wars games, they are still going on that train, but maybe things are going to start to open up quite a lot more in the future. This is, of course, also through the Lucasfilm Games initiative, which was announced earlier this week. Essentially, Lucasfilm Games is back, the old school kind of grouping that gave us so many amazing legendary games based on Star Wars, Indiana Jones, random things, Day of the Tentacle, stuff like that. Really cool for older players like myself, and just looking forward to seeing what they can do. They can finally take Star Wars and really run with it. EA has gotten better, Squadrons is cool, Fallen Order is cool, but I want to see more. So the question I want to pose to you guys is, like, if you could get a Star Wars game from any developer, any genre, whatever, what do you want? Personally, me now as an older player, I grew up with so many Star Wars games. I feel like I got almost everything I ever could have wanted. So now the sky's the limit. I don't even know what I want, but I want to hear from you guys. Now, since we are talking about Lucasfilm Games, they also announced that we're getting an Indiana Jones game. It's been quite some time. It's been like 10 years since we've gotten an Indiana Jones game, and it's by Bethesda. It's a Bethesda joint. It's being worked on by Machine Games, the people behind Wolfenstein, the rebooted Wolfenstein, which I think they're incredible. Todd Howard is apparently executive producing, and this is a collaboration, of course, with Lucasfilm Games directly, and that's pretty freaking sweet. No, this is not Lego Indiana Jones, which was fantastic, and I would love for them to bring that back. But we're getting a thing. We have no idea what it's going to be. Is it going to be first person? Is it going to be an Xbox exclusive because of the Bethesda thing? Was this deal signed before? We don't know yet. But Indiana Jones has a very long history in the world of video games, from stuff like Fate of Atlantis back in the day up to like the Infernal Machine, the Staff of Kings, even stuff like that. So there's so much they could do here and make it interesting and make it stand out from the things that it inspired, like Uncharted and Tomb Raider. I hope they can do something different. I think Machine Games is up to the task, and I'm really excited. I think the future's bright. That's it. Sorry. Unrelenting positivity. Get used to it. Video games are good. Next up, this episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN. New year, new you, right? Well, maybe now you should pay attention to your online security and learn about this stuff and consider a VPN. ExpressVPN does a lot. It helps keep your information private from internet service providers and advertisers. Incognito mode on a browser is not enough because your ISP still gets that data. And they're legally allowed to sell that to advertisers. But with that, ExpressVPN also gives you protection from DDoS attacks by switching your true IP address, basically your internet phone number, into one of their own, so it can keep you safe and anonymous from online attacks while gaming or browsing the web. I like it straight up, simply just because I don't want anyone to try and get at me while I'm gaming. Also, it's really easy to set up and totally painless, idiot-proof, basically one click, but there are tons of settings to dive into if you're more of a nerd. So if you want this security, ExpressVPN comes in at under $7 a month once you count our 3 months free promo. And it's got a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you should check it out. Take back your internet privacy today and find out how you can get 3 months free by going to the link in the description. It's on screen here. Go to expressvpn.com/Gameranx. And thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring our videos. Now, I know before that I said video games are good. Yay, positivity. But we do have some bummer news, some delays. So we now know that Hogwarts Legacy, that cool Harry Potter RPG type thing that was revealed earlier in 2020, is delayed. It is no longer a 2021 game. It is now a 2022 game. As far as I'm concerned now with games, delay them. Delay them as long as you need, make it better. It seems like development is getting tricky with the pandemic and with things and how studios have been structured. So take all the time you need. Also, it's worth pointing out, Riders Republic was supposed to come out soon. This was a Ubisoft game that I feel like I was the only person looking forward to. When they announced that this game was delayed indefinitely, it was supposed to come out in February, a lot of people were like, what is this game? So yes, it's not coming, and it also seems to point to, I've seen a lot of chatter online from video game industry people saying that this is not, Harry Potter and this game are the first of many games to be delayed even more. So maybe prepare yourself for some more delays. But again, I just want to emphasize, we can survive video game droughts. Back in the day, there was a lot more bigger spans of time where no solid games came out. So maybe the more quality they will be, wishful thinking. Next up, we got some trailers and some stuff like that you may have missed this week. I'll link all of this down in the description below. The first is a new gameplay trailer for Returnal. This is the PlayStation Housemarque game that looks damn incredible. It's like they're taking their old style games like Resogun and the shmup stuff, but making it a 3D action adventure game where you are a person. And this game looks sweet. Right up my freaking alley, dude. Also, we got a new look at Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Some new gameplay, some new trailers, just kind of outlining what the experience is. And we know it's dropping next month. And holy shit, can I just say, I slept on this one, dude. I did not really play this one much, and it seems like I really screwed up. I had a Wii U, and I advocated for the Wii U even though it was garbage, and yet I still didn't play this, and I'm really excited to jump in. Also, if we're talking about Nintendo, it went dormant for quite a while after it was announced, but now we got a big new shiny trailer for the new Nintendo Switch Pokemon Snap, and it looks very much like a Pokemon Snap fans' dream come true, and we now know that it is releasing April 30th. Along with that, also, Scott Pilgrim is back. The game Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, that was famously delisted for quite a while, is now fully available once again on all the platforms, and there's even a cool physical limited edition version you can get. There's a shiny new trailer that we're showing here. We talked about it when the news broke a while ago. I'm very excited to go back and replay this. That's just me. Now, in some very shocking news, this morning, dude, do you remember coming into the office and seeing this? Mortal Kombat Legacy, we have our first images of the Mortal Kombat movie that they've been working on for quite some time, and holy shit, I didn't expect this. And I always talk about video game movies here. Yes, they could be bad. Yes, they could be good. I think things have been getting better slowly over time. The images that we've seen here are extremely promising. We get looks at everybody. Jax with really cool robot arms and a corny old school mustache. We also got Kano with a little bit of a different look, but I'm feeling it. We got some glimpses of the Lin Kuei stuff going down. We got a sort of first look at Sub-Zero himself. We got Liu Kang. We got Kung Lao. It's just, wow. Like, this looks pretty sweet. And honestly, if it's a little over the top and corny and campy, I'm all about it. It could still be a complete disaster, but these images here at least show some passion in costume design and stuff. I'm excited to see that. It's been a good week for Mortal Kombat, honestly, especially with Donkey's videos that he put out. Mortal Kombat, they're so freaking good. Anyway, one other thing I wanted to point out is that next week we're getting a bunch of Resident Evil news. January 21st, next week, Capcom is hosting a whole Resident Evil themed digital event, and apparently we're going to get a much deeper look with a new trailer and some gameplay for Resident Evil Village, which I am very excited about. We did get some glimpses of the vampire lady in a new little teaser trailer, and apparently she is very tall, and that is weird and perfectly Resident Evil, and I'm all about it. Apparently they are going to be talking more about just the Resident Evil franchise and some other stuff. There is also signups for a beta for some celebration thing. We don't know what it is, probably some online game. That's just speculation. Maybe we'll get a glimpse at the Resident Evil movie in the works. I don't know how closely they're tied in with Capcom, but that could be a thing. Overall, basically what this is like a Nintendo Direct, but for Resident Evil, and you know me, I'm all about that. Very excited to see what comes from that, but I also just want to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you think about everything we talked about this week? Of course, my biggest question is, a Star Wars game created from any video game creator, any development studio, any genre, what do you want? Also, what do you think about the Mortal Kombat movie images? I know a lot of people are probably just going to shit on them, but like, let me know. I think it's cool. Also, of all the trailers this week, like, what are you thinking? Are you hot or cold on 3D Mario World, picking it up again? And of the PS5 release window stuff, what are you thinking? What are you looking forward to the most? Let's talk about anything video game news down in the comments. Really want to hear from you. We'll be down there, but things do get a little chaotic, like I always say, so if you want to yell at me directly, find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jake Baldino as well. Also, heads up on my personal channel, youtube.com/Jake Baldino. This week, I'm finally putting up my personal 2020 Game of the Year picks if you're curious. But thank you guys for coming around and watching every week. Clicking the like button does legit help this show. Thank you. We would really appreciate that. And subscribing, if you're new, is also a good idea because we put out videos every single day. But catch me here every Friday. Catch me on the Before You Buys. I'm Jake Baldino. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Pizza's on me.